Hey everybody, it's Ron, and today I'm going to be reviewing the latest Dune comic titled The Waters of Kanely. This is another new series by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson set in the Dune universe, but this time they're focusing on Gurney Halleck and what he was up to in the aftermath of the Battle of Arrakeen, which takes place in the first Dune novel. And I have to say, I think this is probably my favorite comic they've done so far. It also has my favorite art from any of these books so far as well. If you're a newcomer to the Dune comic books, they're relatively new. Boom Studios is publishing them, and so far they've done an adaptation of their Dune prequel titled House Atreides, as well as a couple one-shots focusing on the Battle of Arrakeen. And I was getting a little sick of that time period, but luckily this comic pretty much starts right after that, and we get a Gurney Halleck focused story, which is really refreshing to read. So yeah, like I said, I was getting a little sick of seeing this battle in every comic, but they keep it real short in the beginning just to show you that Gurney survives with about 70 other Atreides soldiers, and they turn to a life of smuggling now that their house has pretty much been destroyed. But Gurney never loses sight of his revenge. So I'm going to start off with the artwork by Francesco Mortarino, because like I said, this is my favorite artwork in a Dune book so far, and I like that he sticks with the same designs that were established in the Dune graphic novel and the House Atreides comics, but also puts his own style into it as well. It seems very anime influenced, and that doesn't seem like it would work for something like Dune, but it does here. And one thing that I really like about all of these comics so far is that they didn't have to take influence from the movie and make the characters look like the actors who portrayed them in the film. And although I liked Josh Brolin as Gurney in the movie, I was glad that they switched up his look for the books. I also like that this is more colorful and fantastical than the movie, because when I read the books, I pictured something closer to this, more 60s sci-fi without getting too silly, but not as muted as the film. I like the look of the movie as well, but it's nice to get a different flavor with these books. So this first issue takes some time setting up Gurney's new life as a smuggler, and it was cool to see him play the balisette and show what he was doing in this time period that was glossed over in the book. So I definitely think it's interesting that Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson are starting to explore some of the untold stories of characters like Gurney, and it'll give a little bit more context for when he eventually shows up later in the first Dune book. This comic also gives us a brief origin of Gurney when he was on Giedi Prime, and this is all from the second Dune prequel book called House Harkonnen, which I have a review of on my channel. I'll put it in the description. I'm glad they put this in here too, because it shows you his tragic past and why he hates the beast Rabon so much, and as a reader it definitely makes you want him to get his revenge. Unfortunately, Dune fans already know the outcome from the first book, but they have Gurney come up with a plan to hurt Rabon and the Harkonnens other than a fight between the two of them to the death, because, spoilers, we know that doesn't happen, even though I kind of wish that happened in the original book, knowing that Rabon was the one who gave Gurney his Inkvine scar. It would have been cool to have Gurney be the one to kill Rabon, but oh well. A lot of the supporting characters also look really great in this book, and you can tell that Francesco really put the work in to give everyone a specific and interesting look. I also really like the way the Harkonnen soldiers look, and this panel with the flags and the water supply dropping down with Rabon there overseeing everything is really epic. Adding Count Fenring to the mix is also a welcome addition, and it'll be really interesting to see how this partnership between Gurney and Fenring plays out, because you can tell neither of them trust each other, and they shouldn't. So yeah, this is off to a really solid start. Like I said, I love the artwork, it's really well done, and I hope this artist stays on for the full series. These comics keep getting better and better, and I'm glad there's more entertaining Dune content coming out while we wait for the next movie. So please be sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content, and thanks for watching. Hey everyone, it's Ron here with a quick announcement. When I started this channel, I was reading and reviewing the Dune books and other sci-fi related material, and most of you might not know that I'm also a musician. So when I was reading these sci-fi books, I started to get inspired and decided to make my own soundtrack to use for my videos, and now I'm excited to tell you all about the first volume in the Ron Reviews original soundtrack collection. This album includes the first 17 tracks featured on my channel, and it's available now exclusively on Bandcamp. Be sure to check the description of this video for the link to the album. Thanks so much for the support so far. I know I'm just starting out, but I hope you're having as much fun as I am. So check out the original soundtrack Volume 1 on Bandcamp. This music is great if you want something moody and atmospheric to listen to while you're reading some science fiction. I think you're going to love it. Thanks.